am in the kitchen and I'm going to be sharing a super yummy recipe. It is a soup that is perfect for fall and winter time, so perfect for you to be making right now. And it's actually been a little bit of a pregnancy craving for me. I made this soup like 2 weeks ago and I ended up eating the whole pot in like 2 days. So it was so good, and I'm really excited to share that recipe with you, and I hope you will really like it as well. So I'm sure in a previous video I've mentioned that I have some pretty crazy food allergies and sensitivities that I have to deal with. So I happen to have to be dairy-free, gluten-free, and egg-free. And sometimes that is really, no, let me rephrase that. Most of the time it is very, very hard to cook and make things that taste good without those ingredients. And it's been many years now that I had to switch over to that, and honestly, being in the kitchen was kind of depressing after I had to switch over, because I just couldn't figure out how to make things taste good without some of those ingredients, especially baked goods. And I love baked goods, and it's terrible to try to make a really good cake or something without eggs, especially. So, but I just so happen to have some really great sister-in-laws who are fabulous at just adjusting recipes or throwing ingredients together, and somehow they taste good. I don't really know how or why, but they do, and I'm so thankful for that because they usually make some really yummy stuff for me. And so today, this recipe actually was adapted by one of my sister-in-laws, and she made it for us last year for Thanksgiving. And ever since, I have been making this recipe, and I just love it so much. Okay, so here are all of the ingredients that you will need. First, so here is a vegan butter that I use, one of the ones that I use, not the only one, but this one is pretty decent. We need extra virgin olive oil. You're gonna need an onion. It just says chopped onions, but I usually use about 3/4 of the onion because I like the taste of the added onions. But if you don't like onions as much, then you could always just use half, and it would probably be fine. I use a vegetable broth, so especially if you need to keep this soup vegan, you can use a vegetable broth or a chicken broth. We need some pureed pumpkin, so not just the pumpkin pie filling, but just the pureed pumpkin. Some salt, and I like to use the Himalayan pink salt. We need pepper, which this is amazing pepper. I really love the taste of this cracked pepper. And you're gonna need some coconut cream. I've also used just coconut milk, which works, so you can use either. And you're also going to need about 1.5 pounds of butternut squash. I've used fresh butternut squash before, and that works amazing. But I've also used the cut up frozen ones, which makes it go a lot faster and a lot easier. So either one works, and they both turn out tasting really yummy. So here I've chopped up about 3/4 of my onion, and I didn't chop it up super fine because I actually like some of the larger onion chunks, but that's going to be a preference of yours. So either you can do it chunky or you can chop it up a little more fine, and it'll both taste great. Now I'm going to add the onions into my pot with the olive oil in it. And we are going to cook that up until they are translucent and pretty cooked, soft. Whoops, I'm missing some. Until they're soft, and then we will add some more ingredients. So once your onions have been cooking for about 10 minutes or so and they're soft and translucent, then you're gonna add in some of your other ingredients. So now I'm adding in the butternut squash. Then we're gonna add in our broth, and we're actually gonna do 3 cups of the broth. Then I will add in my pumpkin. You're gonna do the entire can of pumpkin. Then we're gonna add in the salt and the pepper. And honestly, on the recipe, it doesn't really say how much. So it's really truly going to be to taste. So I put in probably a couple of tablespoons, and then I taste it again when I am ready to like serve it or when it's done. So, and then if I need to add more, then I can always add more. Then we're gonna stir it all up, and it might not look overly appetizing right now, but I promise it tastes really good. And so mix it all up, and then you're going to put it on medium-high up to a boil. Let it boil there for just a few minutes, and then you are going to put it down to more of a medium-low and letting it simmer for at least 20 minutes or so. The girls love helping me in the kitchen, so I have Ava stirring our soup for us after we just got done simmering it for about 20 minutes or so, and then I am going to move to the next step after she is done stirring it. She's doing such a great job. Ooh, I wish you could smell this because it smells so good. Okay, so after they were done stirring, both girls ended up stirring, then the original recipe says to take like a hand blender and mix it up. So I'm gonna use my old hand blender that I got back when I first got married, and we're gonna use this. I don't have a fancy KitchenAid, unfortunately, so that's not really an option. But if you are using a hand blender, then I highly suggest that you put on an apron, because this part gets really messy. So just beware, you'll have soup flying everywhere if you're not careful. See what I mean by getting messy? I was a little extra messy today for some reason. But once you are done mixing, don't forget that you still need to add in your coconut cream or your coconut milk. So I already added in mine. I'm gonna mix it up. I might even use the blender again just to really make sure it's all like mixed up and blended really, really well. Okay, so I just did a taste test and it is delicious, like so amazing. And I did want to mention that the time that I did it last, I used the coconut milk, and obviously this time I used the coconut cream, and the coconut cream definitely makes it a little sweeter. So if you like your soup to be a little extra sweet, then maybe you can use in that coconut cream. But if you don't like sweets and you want it a little more savory, then I would probably use the coconut milk. So when you are serving this soup, it's recommended that you can sprinkle on some croutons, or I would personally eat it with some like nice warm bread. Obviously for me, I'd have to have like a gluten-free roll or something. But for those of you who don't have to worry about allergies or anything like that, dietary restrictions, then you could definitely just grab whatever that you want and eat it, and it's just so good. I do have one soup eater in the family. Our littlest, little Celia, she just loves soup, and she always eats all of my soup every single time that I try it. So I'm gonna get her to try it and see what she says. What do you think?
Tiny. Mommy.
Does it taste yummy? I think that that means she likes it because she literally hasn't stopped eating it since I gave it to her. So good reviews from Celia and me because I love it, and I'm about to have an entire bowl right now. So I hope you all have a great day. I hope this recipe is helpful to you, and let me know if it's good because I really want to know how you make it at home too, and maybe what you add to it or garnish it with. So anyway, hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye.